All right, everybody, welcome back. You ready to deep dive with me today?
Always ready. What are we digging into?
Let's talk about money.
Hmm. Always an interesting topic.
Yeah, but specifically, we're going to tackle this idea that's been floating around, this question. Is cash king again?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that popping up.
Yeah,
Used to be, cash was trash.
exactly. Everyone was always saying invest, invest, invest to make your money grow.
Hmm.
And well, that makes sense. But now things feel a little, I don't know, shaky.
Yeah, for sure.
So some pretty serious finance folks are saying, hey, maybe holding cash isn't such a bad idea after all.
Interesting. So where are we starting this deep dive?
We're going to look at a few different perspectives,
Yeah.
get a sense of the debate. But I want to start with this guy, David Rosenberg.
Rosenberg. Okay. Rings a bell. Isn't he a bit of a...
A bit of a what?
Well, he's got that nickname, right? The perma bear.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's him. Yeah, always kind of predicting doom and gloom for the market.
So what's he saying about cash?
He's basically all in on the cash is king idea right now.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, and his reasoning is actually pretty straightforward. He's looking at the market and saying, things are unpredictable, there's a lot of risk out there, and when things feel risky...
People want safety.
Exactly. And what feels safer than cash?
I mean, yeah, you know it's there. It's not going to suddenly disappear.
Right, so Rosenberg's saying, look, you can get a 4.5% yield on short-term investments like Treasury bills.
T-bills. Those are those government bonds, right?
Yep, basically as safe as it gets.
Okay, so 4.5% return on something super safe.
In this environment, that's not bad at all.
Especially when you compare it to, say, the stock market, which has been, well,
Up and down and all around.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that post-election rally?
Oh, yeah, everyone was so optimistic, talking about tax cuts, deregulation.
Where things kind of fizzled.
Yeah, that initial excitement definitely faded. I think the concerns about some of the, what were they, protectionist policies?
The tariffs, yeah.
Those started to weigh on people's minds.
And that's another piece of Rosenberg's argument. He's pointing to all this uncertainty about how those policies will actually play out.
Makes sense. If you're not sure what's going to happen, maybe it's better to just hold tight.
Right, not make any big moves until the dust settles. And on top of all that, there's the whole interest rate situation.
Oh, yeah. Rates have been all over the place.
Well, remember back in September, everyone was predicting interest rates would stay low.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Well, now, the predictions have totally flipped.
No way!
Yeah, there's something like a 70% chance that the federal funds rate, basically the rate that influences all other lending rates, will stay at 4% until September 2025.
Wow, 70%. And back in September, what was it?
Less than 1%. It's a massive swing.
So that means all those cash-based investments, T-bills, money market funds, even savings accounts could be offering decent returns for a while.
Yep. So Rosenberg's saying, look at your past investments. How much have you typically held in cash?
And use that as a guide.
Exactly. If you're comfortable with more risk, maybe it's 10%. If you're more conservative, maybe it's more like 50%. It all depends on your risk tolerance.
His tolerance, yeah. I like that he gives a range, recognizes that everyone's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Not everyone agrees with this whole cash is king idea.
Right. We got to look at the other side of the coin.
Exactly. So there's this other guy, Mike Wilson,
Another one of those, what do you call them?
the perma bears.
Yeah, the perma bears. I was trying to think of what to call them.
Well, he's also predicting some tough times for the stock market. But he still thinks the S&P 500 will gain about 10% next year.
So not all doom and gloom.
Not quite. And then there's this whole other perspective from some analysts over at UBS.
UBS, okay.
And they're saying, basically, keep just enough cash for emergencies, enough to cover a year of expenses, and put the rest of your money to work.
Wow, a whole year of expenses.
Yeah, that's their recommendation. Pretty different from Rosenberg's, right?
Yeah, definitely on the other end of the spectrum.
And their logic is, well, they think the Fed might actually start cutting rates soon.
Interesting. So they're saying invest in things that usually do well when rates are low.
Exactly. They're recommending stuff like investment-grade bonds for stability, diversified fixed income for a steady stream of payments, and then equity income strategies for potential growth.
So, even if rates do go down, there are still ways to see your money grow.
That's their argument.
So we've got these, well, not just two, but multiple sides to this whole cash thing.
Right. It's fascinating. I mean, just a few weeks ago, holding cash seemed, well, almost like a crazy idea. But now, it's a real debate.
Yeah, and it really highlights how much things can change in finance, What works one day might not work the next. Got to stay flexible.
So true. So as we wrap this deep dive up, here's what I want you all to think about.
Yeah.
What does your gut say about cash right now?
Yeah, it's worth considering.
Maybe it's time to revisit your own investment strategy. Do some more research. Think about your risk tolerance and decide for yourself. Is cash king for you, or is it time to put that money to work in other ways?
Lots to ponder.
Definitely. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See ya!